Affairs Department.
Right.
It was my understanding that once the application went to Dunn, for example, Dunn would also notify the neighborhood council
In that jurisdiction.
in that area, or neighborhood councils, and then the neighborhood councils would determine whether or not that they would have a hearing. The policy is written such that if the neighborhood councils need assistance in doing the hearing, Dunn used to do that. To this extent, I don't know if they're still involved in assisting them with the hearing process. And originally, Dunn would then do a report back, would assist the neighborhood councils in preparing the package and send it back to neighborhood councils. But that has not been happening recently, and I don't know if it's because of staffing or budget cuts or what.
Don't give them that excuse.
Okay.
So you basically, what did you do with this when you received it?
I believe it came across my desk 2 weeks ago, if I'm not.
No.
From the city clerk's office.
No.
No.
No. I need to I have the letter here, I
Here,
believe.
write it out. I can't read your lips.
Because I do recall that's when it came to
It can't have been 2
me.
weeks ago. When do you first send this out after the application comes in for a name
I
change?
have it here. Hold on. The city clerk's office supposedly sent this out on September 28th, 2010.
To all departments?
All departments. I have a copy of the letter if you want to see it.
Then in our case, we didn't follow through and follow the procedure, but in
No,
all
but-
past applications that we did. And
Okay.
it is to
Honestly,
clarify.
from my point of view, I'm very disappointed. And this actually speaks to a lot of the criticism of your department. You are the one department of all the departments that should respond, should help out, should assist the neighborhood council if they have to have a hearing on this item. You're the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. There's nothing more empowering than your name or a name change, in my opinion. So this is very indicative, in my opinion, of really your kind of lack of real involvement in the process of what neighborhoods are doing. For you not to respond to this is really disturbing.
This is the one exception. that
Well,
we
yeah,
have
but
not
it's in my
responded.
it's in my district.
Yes. And, we have gone through a lot of staffing shortages.
That's really,
but
how hard is it to respond to this, Daryl? I mean, does this take a lot of effort to respond on a name change application by a department head? Yeah, I don't think, that was a rhetorical, no, it's probably not. So let me ask this, was the neighborhood council in the area notified about this name change?
Yes.
Okay,
I do believe, but after talking to the neighborhood council representative, I found out that the Harbor City Neighborhood Council did have its hearing
okay,
on November 17, 2010. And at the public hearing, they voted and supported the Harbor Pines naming application. I've also talked to the neighborhood council representative saying that it would be a great idea to have on a file minutes from the meeting, a resolution, or a letter from them. But
Yes.
they're in the process of doing that as we speak.
yeah. I mean, and that, I would think that should be sort of
Standard.
standard operating procedure as we move forward with name changes, so that when it comes to us, we kind of have.
Normally, we have it. It wasn't in this package.
Why wasn't it?
I understand that they just had their meeting and the minutes have not been
Okay.
approved.
All right.
And then the process of doing that.
Okay. But we didn't really rush this application, in my opinion, at all. In fact, I feel like we've been talking about this name change for a long time, a year and a half. So I don't feel like it's been rushed. Okay, why don't we hear from the applicant? Tell us, what's your thinking behind this? What prompted this? Tell us, or tell me.
Backstory, as it
Yeah,
were?
the backstory.
So as a resident of the affected area, some other neighbors kind of approached me and my wife with this idea of renaming the area Harbor Pines. and it kind of fell to me to do the implementation of getting the signatures and whatnot. But as I learned throughout the process of meeting with a lot of the other residents, this is a name of the community that's been very informal, but used for, gosh, maybe decades, as well as the intent of trying to do this process in the past, although they never really executed it. So the backstory really was I'm kind of a newer resident to the area, but kind of the messenger of people who've wanted to make this name official for some time.
Good, so you were the one that was the applicant, and looks like we've got the signatures. Apparently there's 5,004 residents that live within this community boundary.
Yeah, is
that right?
That's an interesting math because we certainly, I mean, myself and the other people who gathered signatures, we did the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I would say we probably reached, anecdotally speaking, 80 to 90% of the homes, with which over 90% of the people wanted to sign. So the 5,000 number sounds a bit more than might actually live in the area. So we feel that the show of the signatures and then at the neighborhood council meeting was a pretty overwhelming show of support.
I think so too. I think we've had other name changes in this committee where there was tremendous opposition. And in terms of my office, I believe we've received correspondence from one individual expressing a desire to not have the community's name changed. So it's pretty overwhelming. The neighborhood council has supported it. Signature gathering sort of supports that. I know our office definitely supports it. The city attorney,
He
who
supports it
lives
as well.
there, supports it. So appreciate you doing this. In the old days, we used to just get someone who wanted to change a name, and the council members would do it just with a motion. Sometimes it happened on the floor of the city council. And then we realized that there was probably a better way to do it. And we put in place this process. And we really felt it should be more of a grassroots effort, because changing the name does change a lot of things. It creates an identity, and it's a serious thing when you change the name of a community. So we wanted it to be done the right way, and we think you have. So we appreciate that. Yes, Daryl?
Yeah, I'd like to add something.
Please, please.
A part of the application process, as we were saying, requires a number of departments to report back. One of the other departments that didn't report back, like I was saying, was the planning department. One of the planning department's job is to check the boundaries.
Right, I was going to bring that up.
Okay.
I was going to bring that up, that I do know that there are several homes in the boundaries just west of Western, I'm looking at a map, that are not within the city of Los Angeles, but are in unincorporated LA County. So I think when the language comes back to us on this name change, it needs to be better defined, that when it goes forward to the city council, that it is just the homes within the city of Los Angeles. Although those who, by the way, anybody can be a neighborhood council. People who don't live in the city of Los Angeles can certainly participate in our neighborhood councils on unincorporated county areas. I think many people do. But I think for this, what we're doing here to change the name of a community, we only have authority in the city of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So let's when it goes forward to council, let's make sure that we have defined this as only the boundaries that include the homes in the city of Los Angeles. Did you say there's Lomita and incorporated LA County in this? Let's make sure they're not a part of this, unless they want to be. Okay, thank you very much
Thank you.
for your, I hope it was a positive experience for you to do this.
It was just to say that, like I said, I met most of the people who live in our area that's affected, and, it's a great way to meet your neighbors.
Yes, so once this happens, you can have a block party or a neighborhood party.
Exactly.
A Harbor Pines party.
Some sort of celebration.
Okay, I don't have any other cards. Oh. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I will do that, but run. Yeah, run one right now. Somebody else wants to speak on this? Okay. You can just come on up and fill that out later.
Janet Mercer, board member of the Harbor City Neighborhood Council. This was brought to us in October, and put on the agenda for the stakeholders meeting in November. And I believe, according to this, the community impact statement was supposed to be done by Tom. And I believe that's what we voted on at the board meeting after.
Did he do it?
That, I don't know.
Okay. I don't have a community impact statement,
We didn't receive one.
so.
Okay, so we did vote in favor, 10-1, on the 17th to allow them to change their name to Harbor Pines. And they were informed at the time that any signs that would have to be changed or put up would be at their cost,
At whose cost?
at the stakeholders in the area of Harbor Pines.
Is that what we regularly do? We make the residents pay for the name change?
Yes, we do.
And how many signs are involved?
It depends on the size of the area. This one is 3.
3 signs. And what's the cost of those signs?
$1,600.
$1,600. Well, that might be something the neighborhood council might agree to offer to pay for. I think that would be,
I can submit that.
yeah, I think that's a reasonable request. I think that's exactly what neighborhood councils are about, is supporting their neighborhood and making their neighborhoods better.
Okay.
So and this certainly sounds like it's an overwhelming consensus that this will make the neighborhood better. It will make it more cohesive. It will give some community pride. And things seem like that. Those are exactly the goals of our neighborhood councils. It might be something, I'm not telling you what to do, just might be,
No, I'll be happy
might be
to
something that you might want to offer. I think the residents would appreciate that a lot.
Ms. Hunt, I'd like to add that originally when this policy was approved, our chair of the Budget and Finance Committee put money in the budget to pay for any signs that were installed. But as a result of our current budget situation, neighborhood councils are having to pay for their own signs being installed.
Yeah, but the way this goes, it doesn't really say neighborhood councils, it just says residents of the area.
Yes, right.
So I'm not even sure how that would happen.
What happens is the neighborhood council contacts the Department of Transportation.
No, I don't even
No.
know how you would actually get payment from all
Oh.
residents of a neighborhood. I think the neighborhood council model is much easier and smoother.
That's fine. I'll
Okay,
submit that.
okay.
I don't have a problem.
Okay, good. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
I have one more card. Stephen Lefert?
Hi, my name is Stephen Leffert. I'm on the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council Board, and I was one of the first signatures of the new renaming committees that went on back in 2006, I believe, right after the motion was passed. And that's why I just wanted to comment. I wasn't going to say anything. The issue of the cost of the signs was something that went through the city attorney and everything else. That's what held up the whole new methodology of renaming a community. And it was decided that the paperwork and the administrative costs of trying to figure out how the money was going to get transferred from wherever it is to wherever
Right.
it is to pay for the signs, that it was cheaper to just have the city put up the signs and not charge anything. And we didn't pay anything for having our signs put up. And to me, I think that's kind of disparate treatment to say that the motion, the actual renaming procedure specifies that the cost of the signs is borne by the city.
I was involved with the writing of the policy of the renaming of communities. I don't remember that coming up. I do know that when the policy went to the Budget and Finance Committee, the chair had a hard time with having the neighborhood councils pay for installing their signs, so he sent the report back to the CAO's office and had it revised to identify the dollars to put up the signs, is how I remember it.
Okay, I'm just saying that's the
I'm
way
just
it
saying,
was
too.
when we got renamed, and it was a battle. We had a lot of contention, but
Okay, well, good for you.
and my name was the
Balboa.
signature on the account on the
We wish you hadn't made it
application.
public. Now they're all going to.
Thank you.
Should have just kept that to yourself. No, thank you for that input very much. Okay, if there's no other folks that was to
And that's what you need to get to.
what? Yes.
Go ahead.
Brian,
Hi.
the big cheese.
Just need clarification on the boundaries themselves.
Yes. Yeah, that's the only thing we need is clarification when it goes to full city council that it only incorporates the homes that are within the city of Los Angeles. Can you do that?
we'll work
Okay.
that out.
Thank you. Okay, without, and by the way, we will, since we're going to continue item 2, there are some people that have come down here and would like to be heard on that, and I'm going to accommodate you. Okay, with that being heard, we'll have a unanimous, I move, I approve, I support the renaming of this community to be called from now and forever Harbor Pines. Let us move this forward to the full city council. Okay, congratulations. Okay, let's hear those who've come down here on item 2, but we're not hearing the item. Okay? So, all I have is one card. Yes.
John Lee is here from CD12.
Oh, John, hi. Okay, so John and then Stephen again on item 2. We'll hear you, but we're not hearing the item. Okay.
Good afternoon, council member. I apologize for being late. I was under the understanding that we were going to cancel the committee and not continue the item, so I apologize for coming late. We're dealing with a neighborhood council here that's looking to store emergency products, emergency equipment. They are a neighborhood council that are all level 3 trained and certified. In our community, our neighborhood councils have responded to many different emergencies, such as the Chatsworth train accident, where we really have learned to lean and rely on them, and what a help that they were. So I'm just urging that, asking that this committee, when this item comes back another time, to really consider the different options that EMD is going to have for the neighborhood councils. And I think at that time we'll have a clearer idea of what the process is going to be. So urge your support and the
Great.
future.
I'm
for
not
that.
even sure
So-
when, how long we're continuing this for. Did the
It'll
chair?
be the first part of the year, the next time. they
Okay.
meet up.
Yeah, we're hoping in the first part of the year.
Okay.
So that would be great for us.
Thanks, John.
Okay.
Stephen? Hi.
Steve Leffert, Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council. Yes, the motion that's actually supposed to be heard today was from September of last year, so it's already been continued and continued. And the big thing, our neighborhood council has been gung-ho with the idea of being prepared, and I wish the rest of the city was, and I wish the city's emergency preparedness department would actually step up to the plate and do something. Our real problem is we've already got a container with $20,000 worth of equipment in it. And the problem seems to be that within the city, we can't figure out a way that we can actually hand the stuff out and distribute it in case of an emergency. That's where the problem lies. Okay? CERT
Wow.
is one agency, but they have not said that we can distribute it, even if we only gave them equipment to CERT-trained
Yeah.
people. If we had a CERT 3-person distributing it, I started off with this several years ago with Tom Griego, trying to get a hold harmless agreement written so that anybody who got the equipment would not be able to sue the city of Los Angeles or any agency thereof if they misused this equipment. And it's basically a legal problem, and while this is being fumbled about and gone back and forth through different city agencies, if the big one hits, what do we do?
I'm coming to Lake Balboa.
We can't distribute the materials. So that's the big quandary. And how long is it going to take it to get cooperation from city agencies to do this? It's going to happen after the Katrina,
Yeah.
or hopefully very soon. That's all.
Well, let me applaud Lake Balboa and Neighborhood Council for taking this so seriously and for wanting to be gung-ho on emergency preparedness and, ready to kind of step in the place of some of our first responders. Let me really applaud you for that. Seems like it's a very frustrating legal, bureaucratic problem that I would hope that we could solve sooner than later.
Well, I hope we can get somebody from CERT that's willing to step
Yeah.
up to the plate and say, we'll take
I
responsibility.
hope so, too. Okay. We're not hearing the item, so, okay. Anybody else wishing to address this esteemed panel? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.